June 14th, 1944, 14:27 hours, near the village of Lingèvres, France. Sergeant Gordon Harris, commander of a Sherman Firefly in the 13th 18th Royal Hussars, peers through the periscope of his tank Aquila. The air is thick with dust and cordite. The summer sun beats down on the open fields. You can almost feel the sweat trickling under the helmet, hear the low rumble of the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine idling, smell the hot oil and gunpowder. Harris's gunner, Trooper Alec McKillop, has the 17-pounder loaded, AP round chambered. 5 Panther tanks of the Panzer Lehr Division advance across 800 meters of open ground, sleek, sloped armor glinting, 75mm KWK-42 guns sweeping. The Germans believe they are unstoppable. Their frontal armor shrugs off most Allied fire. Harris spots them first. 5 Panthers, bearing 090, range 800, load AP, steady now. McKillop traverses the turret smoothly. The Firefly's long barrel, distinctive from standard Shermans, centers on the lead Panther. The Germans haven't seen them yet. Harris's Firefly is hull down behind a low hedge, camouflaged with netting and foliage. The other tanks in the troop wait in ambush positions. Harris breathes slow. On my mark. The lead Panther halts, commander scanning. McKillop aligns the sight. Target. Harris snaps, fire. The 17-pounder roars, a sharp crack that echoes across the fields. The AP round streaks out, punches through the Panther's mantlet at 800 meters. Flame erupts from the turret. The tank burns instantly. The crew has no time to react. 1 down. The remaining 4 Panthers swing turrets, engines revving. They spot the muzzle flash. But Harris is already moving. McKillop traverses fast. 2nd Panther, fire. Another crack. The round slams into the side armor as the Panther turns. Penetration. Secondary explosion. 2 down in seconds. Panic ripples through the German formation. The Panthers accelerate, trying to close the range where their guns dominate, but the Firefly is faster on traverse. 3rd shot. McKillop leads the moving target perfectly, hit to the turret ring. 3 destroyed. The 4th Panther fires back. 88mm shell whistles past, explodes harmlessly in the hedge. Harris's driver reverses slightly, keeping hull down. McKillop reloads in seconds. Fire. 4th Panther erupts in flames. The last Panther tries to flee, but it's too late. 5th shot. Clean penetration through the rear. All 5 burn within 6 minutes. 5 shots, 5 kills, no losses to the Firefly crew. The field falls silent except for crackling flames and distant artillery. Harris keys the radio. 5 Panthers destroyed, proceeding. The Germans are left speechless. What they thought impossible, a single Sherman killing 5 of their best tanks in minutes, has just happened. But this is only the beginning of the Firefly legend in Normandy. The smoke from the first burning Panther rises thick and black, a funeral pyre against the Normandy sky. June 14th, 1944, 14:30 hours. The remaining 4 Panthers of the Panzer Lehr spearhead accelerate, tracks chewing the soft earth, 75mm guns swinging desperately toward the hedge line. Sergeant Gordon Harris keeps Aquila hull down, the Firefly's long 17-pounder barrel just peeking over the rise. Dust swirls. The Merlin engine throbs low. You can almost feel the vibration through the steel floor plates, hear McKillop's quick breath as he reloads, brass clanging, breech slamming shut. The Germans charge. Their commanders scream orders over the net, voices cracking with rage and fear. The lead Panther, now 2nd in line, fires first. 75mm shell screams past Aquila, explodes harmlessly in the bocage behind. Harris doesn't flinch. Traverse left, on the move. McKillop spins the turret with practiced speed, crosshairs settling on the Panther's flank as it turns. Fire! The 17-pounder erupts again, muzzle flash blinding, recoil slamming the tank back on its suspension.
The AP round punches through the thinner side armor at 600 meters. Ammo racks cook off. The turret lifts off in a gout of flame and black smoke. 3 destroyed. The surviving 3 Panthers fan out, trying to use speed and numbers. One attempts to flank left through a gap in the hedgerow. Another lays down suppressive fire, MG-34 tracers whipping overhead. Harris's driver, Corporal Jock Thompson, eases Aquila backward a few yards, keeping the hull protected. McKillop traverses again, smooth, mechanical. The 4th Panther exposes its turret face as it maneuvers. Got him. Crack. The round strikes the mantlet dead center. Penetration. Fire blooms from the engine deck. 4 down. The last Panther commander realizes the trap. He orders full reverse, tracks spinning in reverse, trying to withdraw behind a small rise. Too slow. McKillop leads the target, anticipating the turn. Fire! The 5th and final shot streaks out. The round catches the Panther in the rear plate as it slews. Catastrophic detonation. Turret ring sheared. Hull split open. Flames roaring skyward. 5 Panthers. 5 shots. 6 minutes. The field is now a graveyard of twisted steel and burning fuel. No return fire. No movement from the wrecks, except the crackle of ammunition cooking off and the low moans of dying crews. Harris keys the radio again, voice steady but edged with adrenaline. Aquila to command. 5 Panthers confirmed destroyed. No casualties. Ammo low. Request resupply. The reply crackles back. Stunned silence first, then congratulations from the troop leader. The 13th, 18th Hussars have just witnessed something unprecedented, a single Firefly crew turning the tables on the vaunted Panther in open ground. The Germans are left speechless. Panzer Lehr's elite, men who believed their tanks invincible, watch from distant positions as 5 of their best burn in minutes. Rumors will spread through the division by nightfall. One British Sherman did this. Doubt creeps in. The myth of German armor superiority cracks. But the Bocage still hides more threats. The day is young, and the advance must continue. What happens when the Firefly crew pushes deeper into the hedgerows? The acrid smoke from the 5 burning Panthers drifts across the open field like a funeral shroud. June 14th, 1944. 14:45 hours. Lingèvres sector still smolders. Twisted hulks crackle and pop as ammunition cooks off inside the wrecks. Sergeant Gordon Harris wipes sweat from his brow inside Aquila. The Firefly's turret rang hot from rapid fire. The 17-pounder barrel steams faintly. Spent brass casings clatter around the fighting compartment. You can almost taste the bitter cordite on your tongue, feel the metallic tang of fear sweat in the confined space, hear the low growl of the Merlin as Thompson keeps the engine ready for instant movement. The Germans are not finished. From the tree line beyond the rise, more silhouettes emerge, another platoon of Panthers, supported by Panzer Grenadiers dismounting from half-tracks. Obersturmführer Heinrich von Lüttichau, leading the reinforcement, has heard the radio reports. Ein Firefly hat 5 zerstört. Unmöglich. 1 Firefly destroyed 5. Impossible. He orders caution. Flank them. Use the hedgerows. The Panthers split, using the Bocage for cover, infantry advancing with Panzerfausts and MG-42s. Harris spots the movement. More contacts. 3 Panthers left. Infantry closing. Load AP again. McKillop slams another round home. The Firefly creeps forward slightly, using the burning wrecks as partial cover. The lead reinforcement Panther noses out from behind a hedge, 75mm gun elevated. Harris's gunner is faster. Target, fire, crack. The 17-pounder round punches through the Panther's upper glacis at 700 meters. Penetration. The tank lurches, turret traversing wildly before exploding in a fireball. 6. The remaining 2 Panthers open fire simultaneously, shells slamming into the hedge, showering dirt and branches over Aquila. 1 round ricochets off the mantlet with a deafening clang. The crew flinches. Harris orders, reverse, now. Thompson throws the Firefly into gear. Tracks churn backward as another shell whistles overhead. McKillop keeps the turret trained. The 7th Panther exposes itself, trying to flank. Fire! Seventh kill. Round strikes the track guard, detonates stored ammo, flames engulf the engine deck. Infantry now closes, Panzer Grenadiers sprinting low, fausts raised. MG fire rakes the hedge. Harris's coaxial Bessa chatters back, tracers cutting down 2 attackers. Driver, advance to the next hedge. The Firefly lurches forward, crushing through undergrowth. The last Panther tries a desperate charge, full throttle across open ground. McKillop leads perfectly. On the way. 8th shot. The round catches the Panther square in the turret face. Catastrophic kill. 8 Panthers down. The infantry hesitate, then break, fleeing back into the trees under covering fire from the surviving half-tracks. The field is silent again. Only the roar of flames and distant British artillery. Harris's voice over the net. 8 Panthers destroyed, infantry retreating. We hold. The 13th, 18th Hussars advance past the smoking hulks. Infantry dismount to secure the position. The Germans withdraw, stunned. Panzer Lehr's pride, elite tanks, elite crews, shattered by 1 Firefly in under an hour. Word races through the division. Ein Sherman hat 8 erledigt. 1 Sherman killed 8. Fear replaces arrogance. The Firefly, once a desperate British improvisation, has become a legend in a single afternoon. But the Bocage hides more ambushes. The advance continues into hellish hedgerows. How much longer can 1 crew defy the odds? The last Panther's turret lies twisted in the grass, flames licking skyward like a signal beacon. June 14, 1944, 15:15 hours. The Lingèvres battlefield is a graveyard of steel. 8 smoldering hulks, black smoke pillars rising into the clear Normandy sky. Sergeant Gordon Harris exhales slowly inside Aquila, the Firefly's fighting compartment thick with cordite fumes and heat. The 17-pounder barrel radiates warmth. Empty brass casings roll underfoot with every lurch. You can almost feel the crew's collective tremor, adrenaline crash, hands shaking on controls, hearts still hammering from the impossible. No cheers. Just silence broken by distant British 25-pounders and the crackle of burning fuel. Trooper Alec McKillop slumps against the turret wall, sweat-soaked, staring at the breach. 8, Sarge. 8 bloody Panthers. Corporal Jock Thompson, the driver, mutters through the intercom. Thought we were done for on that last one. Harris keys the radio again, voice flat but firm. Aquila to squadron. 8 Panthers confirmed destroyed. Position secure. Ammo critical. Request resupply and infantry support. The reply comes quick. Trooper leader's voice stunned. 8? Repeat. 8? Affirmative. The 13th, 18th Hussars push forward past the wrecks. British infantry dismount from carriers, bayonets fixed, moving cautiously through the Bocage. They pass the burning hulks. Some crewmen crawl from escape hatches, hands raised, faces blackened, eyes wide with shock. 1 German tanker stares at the lone Firefly as it rumbles past, shaking his head in disbelief. Ein Panzer, 8 von uns. 1 tank, 8 of us. Word races through Panzer Lehr like wildfire. By evening, divisional headquarters receives the report. A single British Firefly, armed with 1 long-barreled 17-pounder, annihilated an entire platoon of Panthers in open ground in under an hour. Oberst-Lieutenant Max Wunsch, commander of Panzer Regiment 12, reads the dispatch in silence. His elite division, supposed to smash through to Bayeux, has been bloodied by 1 gun. Doubt spreads through the ranks. The Panther, once feared invincible, now vulnerable to this British upgunned Sherman. Crews begin speaking in hushed tones of der lange Rohr, the long barrel that kills from beyond their effective range. The Firefly's reputation explodes across the Allied lines. Other troops hear the story by nightfall, how Aquila held the crossroads alone until reinforcements arrived. Harris's crew becomes legend overnight. McKillop's precise gunnery, Thompson's steady driving under fire, the loader's lightning reloads, all perfect in that desperate hour. The 17-pounder proves its worth. Designed to defeat Tiger armor, it shreds Panthers at ranges where German 75mm guns struggle to penetrate the Firefly's sloped front. Yet victory is bittersweet. The Bocage ahead is a maze of death, ambushes, mines, Faust patrons. Harris's crew knows the odds. One lucky hit to the thin side armor, one Faust through the track, and the legend ends. They press on, turret traversing, eye scanning every hedge. By dusk, the crossroads is secure. The Germans fall back, licking wounds. Panzer Lehr's advance stalls, partly because of fuel shortages, partly because no one wants to be the next 5 or 8 on the Firefly's tally. As night falls over Lingèvres, the burning wrecks light the fields like beacons. One crew, one gun, one impossible afternoon has rewritten the rules of armored warfare in Normandy. The Firefly is no longer just a desperate improvisation. It is the nightmare of the Panzer elite. And the hedgerows still wait.